All right, everybody, welcome back to Bloomington Buddies, where two buddies talk about all things sports. As usual, my name is Eddie Finn. I'm your host, and joined in the studio with me today, as always, is Quincy Bell and our lovely producer, Jackson. Sadly, some unnamed people have messed up our video side of our podcast for today, so thankfully, Jackson was still able to get the audio working, so we are doing an audio-only podcast for our last one. As usual, take some stupid picture at the end that I'll put over it. They're always the best, though. On the inside, they're always the best pictures. Yeah. But we got quite a few things we're going to talk about, but it is our last episode of the season and our last episode of the first year of our show. Luckily, Jackson will be back with us next year for his senior season. Even if we have to work around our schedules, we are making sure Jackson stays our producer because... I mean, how are we finding a better one?
I'm not doing it with if Jackson isn't.
Exactly. That's how I'm feeling. But
we'll give him like a senior day.
Yeah, we'll give him a ditch day.
We'll give him a senior day.
We'll give him a senior ditch day for the podcast. He can just not show up one day.
Fuck y'all. Figure it out.
I'm taking my ditch day. Figure out the board.
Yeah, but I mean, let's again. It's our last episode, so a big shout out to IUS TV and especially our producer Jackson for everything they've done this year. I mean. Honestly, even though I did a little of this type of stuff in high school, I definitely could not do this without Jackson. So a big shout out to him. And, he's kept this running smoothly. If we can't do video, he makes sure the audio still works. So, a big shout out to him. Anything you want to say to your fans?
Thank you guys so much for listening, just not only to this show, but for all the other IUS TV shows. If you got to IUS TV through Bloomington Buddies, thanks so much for listening.
I think it was so funny because me and Eddie would just argue so much.
Oh yeah, and
to where we would have to ask for a third opinion.
Yeah,
where now that third opinion is just like the third
permanent
member of the show.
I was gonna say because I feel like you for like the first couple episodes you just kind of like did that. Chilled, and then finally you just got to the point where you got drawled in because you had to take a side, and it's just like now we're just always like Jackson, come on.
The first episode is like, okay, y'all just talk about whatever you're gonna talk about. Pretend like I'm just not here, or whatever. I'll just run.
That's literally my spiel when it comes to these shows. It's just like, I'll just be here in the corner.
And well, now you're not. Now it's the trio, so you're part of it.
There we go. I get to be part of the awkward photos.
Exactly. Awkward. You hurt my feelings.
All
right. So
do we just jump into the Leafs?
You can talk about the Leafs for a minute. Go ahead.
Okay. So when we left off, the Leafs, I think they were tied 1-1 in the series.
It was tied 1-1, and then the Leafs won 2 straight.
The Leafs went out and, in all honesty, got outplayed both games in Tampa. Both games in Tampa was the better team. They outshot the Leafs and were controlling most of the game. But, Game 3, they tie it up at the last minute, win it in overtime. Game 4, they crawl back from 4-1, and they tie the thing. And I was going crazy, and of course they won it in overtime. That's just the way the Leafs have been this series. It's just they're just turning on the gas when they need to. And I was like, oh, they're coming back home for Game 5. They're gonna finish it off. They're gonna finish it off now. And they lost 4-2, really 3-2. They scored an empty netter Tampa scored an empty netter with like 3 seconds left. But this game was just so disappointing because Andrei Vasilevsky, goalie for Tampa Bay, who I think is the best goalie in hockey, has played very subpar. He's been statistically one of the worst goalies in the playoffs, and he went out and had a terrific showing. And Samsonov, the Leafs goalie, kind of, he allowed a stinker of a goal to Mikey Eyssimont, and ultimately that was the difference. The Leafs couldn't quite. They tried to come back at the end. They got it within 1, but it's feeling bleak. I know people are like, oh, well, you're still up. People last night who are watching the game with me that don't watch hockey, they couldn't understand why I was so upset. And they couldn't understand because they're like, oh, you're still up 3-2 in the series. Just win one of these last 2.
That's not how the Leafs work.
It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tampa's not losing 3 in a row at home. I think Tampa's going to win Game 6. And Game 7, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, I hope they prove me wrong. They got it to overtime last year, Game 6. But, I mean, what's really looking frustrating is Victor Hedman, Tampa's top defenseman, did not play in Game 2. And that was the only game the Leafs outplayed Tampa, was Game 2. Was the game Victor Hedman didn't play. So, I don't know how much, if they could just go on a magical run again in the third period. They have to just impose their will on Tampa. They can't just, because what Tampa will do to you, and which is what they did last night, is they'll get like a 1-goal lead, like early second period, and they will shut it down on defense. I know they didn't do that in games 3 and 4, but that's the Tampa brand of hockey that they got back to playing in game 5. So Michael Bunting, the situation was Michael Bunting got suspended game 1, set games 2, 3, 4, and they won games 2, 3, 4. So Sheldon Keefe was like, going into game 5, we're going to sit Michael Bunting. And I was like, I think that's great. But now I'm looking at it like, could have used a kind of physical, scrappy guy. So I don't know if Bunting gets the nod for game 6. Also, Justin Hall. I'm going to rant about Justin Hall for a second.
Oh, no. Here we go.
The Leafs have allowed 20 goals in this series, 20 goals in 5 games. Justin Hall has been on the ice for 14 of them. That's awful. The goal differential is 14-2 with Justin Hall on the ice. That's horrible. That's so bad.
Bless you.
And like, I know people in hockey, you can't really blame it on one player. Like, a lot of times teams will just blame a loss on a goalie. It's like, oh, there's guys in front of him and stuff. And Sheldon Keefe's response when they're like, hey, Justin Hall's been outscored 14-2 when he's on the ice. Are you gonna bench him finally? And Sheldon Keefe's like, well, he's not the only person on the ice. It's like, yeah, but it'd be nice to get a stop once in a while. He is awful. And Mark Giordano has been just as bad, and it's very clear. Tampa is attacking that defensive pair of Giordano and Hall. And it's just so frustrating to watch because Sheldon Keefe, they got to make an adjustment because that loss, I think, is entirely on Sheldon Keefe for just keeping them out there that long. Hopefully the Leafs can win in Game 6, but I don't know. It's Saturday. Game 6 is Saturday at 7 p.m., so I'll be locked into watching that. Hopefully they can pull through because that last night was not it. I didn't watch the draft. I had to watch the Leafs and that was disappointing. But they're still right there in the series. They're still right there. This guy won one of these last 2. Hopefully they can just get it done in Game 6. But
We can hope that they get it done.
the Toronto fucking Maple Leafs.
Well, to be fair, would you be more upset if they won? Because as a Maple Leafs fan, you're just so used to them losing. So it's like a tradition at this point.
Oh, it's just so frustrating every year. Every year I go in and I'm like, oh, they're going to lose. And then they do something to bring my hopes up, and then they just still lose.
But it's a tradition. So, like, you don't want to break tradition. Like, you almost have to lose in 7. Like,
I don't know. How are the New York Rangers doing?
We're not talking about them.
No, yeah, we are.
No, I don't think we are.
In case you're wondering,
NBA playoffs.
No, in case you're wondering, the New York Rangers, after beating the Devils 5-1, both of the first 2 games in New Jersey, the Devils squeaked out an OT win in Game 3, and then they just smashed them the next 2 games, 3-1 and 4-0.
Yeah, we're not having a good series. We are back in New York for Game 6, and then we play in Jersey for Game 7.
Got to win Game 6 first.
I think we can win Game 6 at home. I think that we wouldn't lose that many in a row. If we win at home, it's tied series 3-3. I just think the Rangers have more experience in the playoffs than the Devils in general.
They do.
They're gonna. It's just like, which we're gonna talk about in a second. The Kings. They haven't played in the playoffs, and I mean they played in the playoffs, but they haven't done good in the playoffs in so long that they're just not used to the pressure that comes with it. Game 7 is going to be a Rangers.
What they're kind of doing is they're kind of getting goalied. The Devils allowed 10 goals the first 2 games. The last 3 they've allowed 2 combined.
No, dude, our defense has been really bad. I watched part of Game 4, right? Isn't that the one we lost 5-1 or 4-1?
They lost 4-0 Game 5, 3-1 Game 4.
3-1. I knew it was something 1. I watched part of that game, and yeah, our defensive strategy is just so bad. Those 2 games, both 3 and 4, they were trying to force them too much to the outside, and they were leaving just enough gap. They were just coming in and fucking just slap shot in the bitch, and it just went right in. There was nothing they could do.
Today is a huge day in hockey because there are 4 Game 6s. Hurricanes, Islanders. Hurricanes are up 3-1. The Islanders stole one in there. So now the Islanders have a home game to try to get back to a Game 7. Same thing with the Bruins and the Panthers. The Panthers still won at TD Garden against the Bruins.
That actually shocks me.
So now the Panthers have a home Game 6 to maybe send it to a Game 7. Stars Wild Game 7. Dallas is up 3-2. The Wild have one at home. And the Seattle Kraken are one game away from possibly knocking out the defending Cup champions, the Colorado Avalanche. So
The Avalanche have been kind of disappointing this year. I mean, I know they did good throughout the season, but they've been disappointing this offseason.
The Avalanche?
Yeah.
I mean, who are you going to add after winning a Stanley Cup?
I understand that, but the fact that the Kraken are about to possibly upset them.
Seattle's got a really good team. McCann, Dunn.
They got a decent team, but they didn't play great throughout the regular season as much as they should have with that team. Because they were, fourth in there? I think they were fourth.
Seattle was the fourth team in the Pacific.
Correct.
Honestly, everyone in the Pacific, they were pretty tightly packed.
I was going to say, it was the Devils,
Colorado,
the Bruins.
No, that's the Atlantic.
Oh, that's the Atlantic, yeah.
Seattle's a wild card. Because the way they do it is the top 3 make it, and then it's 2 after that.
Okay.
So, that's why Winnipeg was playing Vegas. I don't know, but Seattle was the top wild card team. But, Colorado has 109 points. Seattle finished with 100. They're not as widely separated as one might think. And then Saturday, obviously the Leafs play. I'm just going to be a nervous wreck. Devils Rangers Game 6, and then Oilers Kings. And then Sunday there are 4 possibilities for Game 7s. And Monday there's 3 possibilities for Game 7s. The only team that has actually clinched their series is Vegas completely stomped the Winnipeg Jets, as everyone thought they would.
Yeah. I mean, NHL every year is just it's kind of like the NBA. You watch, you say the team's going to win, and then you just watch as it makes no sense at who wins. And it's just...
So, speaking of NBA, do we want to...
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about it because it's... Oh, it's a mess right now. First off...
Bucks are out, man.
Screw you, whoever... The freaking Heat. This is why I hate the Heat. Yes,
it should have been the Bulls, man.
The Heat won the series 4-1 without Giannis. The thing is, the Bucks actually went off the first game after Giannis. After he left, they won it was 130 something to low 100.
Yeah,
and everybody's
it was
like,
crazy score.
The Bucks should win this. They just proved they can play without Giannis, and they did prove that. And then they quit proving that, and the Heat just went on a run. Jimmy Butler dropped a playoff high for the Heat with 56 points in one game.
2 things. I think there's only been one other time an 8 seed has beaten a 1, and I think the Supersonics beat the 1 seeded Nuggets or something.
Yeah,
or it was the other way around. The 8 seeded Nuggets beat the 1 seed, in the 80s.
I don't remember, but I know you're right. I think it may have been twice. I feel like there was another one, but
and then secondly,
either way, yeah.
Jimmy Butler is a top 5 player in the NBA
right now.
Yes.
No, this is another L take from Quincy Bell.
Can you name 5 players right now, Ben?
Giannis?
Obviously
Jokic,
not.
Giannis? He's freaking hurt, dog. What?
Okay, fine. Giannis,
Jokic, Embiid, Curry, and James.
I don't know about James or Curry.
LeBron James and you mean the people that are about to go into the next round?
Did they drop 56 and single-handedly beat a 1 seed?
Oh, no, you're right. Steph's just dropped a career high of 62, so he's dropped more than Jimmy Butler.
I don't know. Maybe Curry's better than him.
LeBron's every 5 I just named are better. Even though I hate LeBron James, he is still one of the top.
Jimmy Butler's fantastic, but
he's played great in the playoffs, but he did half jack shit during the season.
I don't know. He's one of my favorite players. I love.
Yeah, because you're a freaking Bulls fan.
Giannis had a really good quote after the game because somebody asked him do you see the season as a failure? And you could tell he wanted to just get pissed off.
Yeah.
And just go off on this reporter, but he was just he kept himself cool, and he was just no, it isn't a failure, because he's just if you lose every single season, is it a failure? He's Michael Jordan lost 11 years in a row before he won 6.
Exactly.
He's were those other 11 years a failure and all that?
I wouldn't say so. Yeah.
So he went off on him with in the most polite Giannis way possible.
I think Anthony Edwards should have taken a piece out of his book instead of smacking 2 ladies with a chair. By the way, for those of you who didn't hear that, Anthony Edwards has been charged with aggravated assault.
What did he do again? He just
after the Game 5 loss, he took a chair and he threw it, and it smacked 2 ladies in the head, and it hurt them, and he was just raging. So yeah, he's not looking too hot right now. I mean, I understand that that's going to piss you off, considering the game before he came out with the quote after they won that said, "It's not ever over. It's a 7-game series. People seem to forget that." And then proceeds to lose the next game. So he wasn't very happy. But still, yeah, you don't throw a chair at people. Come on, man. All right. Other games like that. The Knicks also won in 5. The Cavaliers were my sleeper team. They looked so good going in.
I had the Cavs going to the conference final.
And we know. And I think it was bizarre. I mean, Jalen Brunson, as much as people hate him, man is a great player. He's a fantastic player. Julius Randle looked really good in this last game especially. But yeah, I had the Cavaliers winning this game I think in 6, and they lost in 5. So that was very interesting to see. Donovan Mitchell wasn't able to get too much going. Yeah. So overall, the Knicks looked really good. If I'm being realistic, I see the Knicks in the conference championship.
I'll say one thing about the Knicks, and this is why I hate some people when it comes to sports takes. One guy goes, he literally said, "Oh, well, since the Knicks, I don't know, the Knicks might lose to the Heat if the Heat keep playing the way that they've been."
Well, yeah, I mean, according to you, the Heat have the top 5 player in the league, so they might lose.
Top 5 player, Jimmy Butler. Anyway, but the thing is this guy literally said, he goes, "The Knicks aren't as close to winning a title as people think, and they're going to make the conference finals, and it's going to be bad for them because they're going to think
they're
they
gonna
don't
lose
because they think they don't need to add after they lose in the conference finals." I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, they should just lose so they realize they don't have to like shut up, dude. Like they're not gonna." He's like, they should. It would be better for the Knicks if they lost to the Heat, so they realize they need to add another piece. Like, shut the hell up, dude.
Why would they actively choose to lose now, like in the middle of the playoffs?
I'm telling you, they're gonna lose.
Get a brain, dude. Like get a brain.
Don't get me wrong. They're gonna lose in the conference finals, no matter who comes out of the other side. They're both the best teams.
I don't think I could handle the Knicks in the NBA Finals. It would just be too much.
Well, no. If the Knicks were in the NBA Finals, it would be a quick, easy 4-0 because whether it's the Nuggets,
whoever came out of the East,
no,
4-0, or whoever came out of the West
with 4-0, easy. Yeah, because it would either be, in my opinion, the Suns. I think the Suns beat the Nuggets, that is going to be the best series.
I think the Nuggets will beat the Suns.
Right now, okay, so for the series that are left, the Nuggets, by the way, beat the Timberwolves in 5 games, and the Suns beat the Clippers in 5 games. The Nuggets are being given a 57% chance to win, which is the closest odds of any of the series. Which is interesting to me because they haven't done a prediction yet for the 76ers Celtics or the Heat Knicks. I feel like the Knicks will probably have like an 80% chance of winning. But the 76ers Celtics, I feel like that's going to be just as, if not closer than the Nuggets Suns, which is going to be the best series right here, is the 76ers Celtics.
So Boston won Game 6 against...
Yes, they won 128-120, and the Sixers won 96-88 against the Nets. By the way, I'm just going to put this out here. I talked about it for the first 2 Warriors games. And I said the refs have been dog shit, and it is proceeding to get worse, not just with the Warriors-Kings games, but with every NBA game I have watched. The game against the Grizzlies and the Lakers this last game, the refs were dog shit, like complete dog shit. The fouls they were calling literally just, it comes to a point where you let them play. That's fine. All right, let them play. Now, if it gets bizarre, okay, yeah, step in, call a technical if you have to, whatever. But literally, John Morant said something to LeBron that wasn't even that bad.
What did he say?
It was, I don't remember what it was. It was pretty much just like something like don't test me again or some shit, because he was like talking shit and he went over and dunked or something. And it wasn't anything that requires apparently a ref overheard that and I guess he thought he was talking to him it's stupid. It's like they've been calling fouls on everything. And I think there are some teams that were finally just like, I'm done with this shit. For instance, my team. The first 2 games in Sacramento, whether people want to admit it or not, there was a lot of just like, let them play moments. You want to call technical on Draymond, fine. You want to get that whole situation. I don't even care about that anymore. But there were some fouls where it's like, he didn't even touch him. But we came out in Game 5 and we were like, you know what? Screw every one of you. And Klay Thompson had 4 fouls by the 3rd quarter. So he sat most of the second.
That's an Oliver Jareski moment.
He sat. Yeah, that's true. He sat most of the second and the 3rd quarter, and yet we still won because
the NBA won't let
freaking crazy
their Warriors lose.
Also, no, it's because we are better.
Also, we were talking about, I don't know if I've brought this up before. We were in one of our intramural basketball games. This kid, shout out Oliver Jareski, pride of Macedonia. He
that's one more intramural basketball story before the summer.
He picked up 4 fouls in the matter of the first 4 minutes of the game, and they
he
were
did.
and they were like, he wasn't even like bullying people. I think maybe like 2 of them were actual fouls.
He smacked him twice,
He
at
turned
least.
to the ref and goes, "How's that a fucking foul?" After his 4th one, he's like, "How's that a fucking foul?" And the ref goes, "Hey, you can't swear at me, man. Like, you can't do that." He's like, "Oh, go fuck." That was bullshit.
He was really mad. Yeah, he was pissed.
And he's someone that like does not like lose his temper very easily. He's a very like calm, like mild-mannered person. But he's like, what is this?
Yeah, look, I do have to say though, this is actually kind of funny. I just noticed this. The Kings, the winningest coach in King history is Rick Adelman, and his record overall is 395 and 229, which isn't even like a fantastic record. And he's 34 and 35 in the postseason. Dude, Mike Brown's gonna go crazy. I love him. But by the way, that is one of the best moments I've seen between coaches during, I think it was Game 3.
Hasn't Mike Brown like assistant coached like every team in the NBA?
Oh,
Or
Mike
something
Brown,
like that?
no, he was mainly a Warriors coach.
But he like didn't he like also wasn't he like the assistant coach on like the Cavs when they won 1 year or some shit?
I don't think so. The Cavs have only won 1 year.
Like the
And
year
he
they
was
won.
No, he was with the Warriors. You're thinking of Lou. What's his face? His name's Lou.
Tyronn Lue?
Yeah, maybe that's who it was.
The
'Cause
guy
he was
that
the
got
coach.
stepped over by. No, I said assistant coach. Like I think this is Mike Brown's like first head coaching job.
It is, but he
But,
was
like,
with the Warriors.
But he like has assistant coached like multiple teams.
It's possible he was with the Cavs, but I don't think so because I think they said he has 3 rings from the Warriors.
No.
But anyway, that was one of the funniest moments. Was I think it was either Game 2 or Game 3. Steve Kerr walks over to him on the sideline and goes, "Hey, Mike." He comes over and he goes, "I got new plays. You don't know shit anymore." And Mike was just started laughing. He goes, "Yeah, and I got new players, and you know everything about them." And it's just like, it was just a wholesome moment. They've been really good friends for ages. And I think it shows you that like, people are always taking stuff like this so seriously, and it's just like it was a cool comic relief moment, but. Yeah, I was so proud of the win we got. It was 123 to 116. It was a good win. Steph Curry went off late. Draymond Green, tired of the fucking shit he's taken from the Kings crowd, came off the bench and dropped 16 within the first, I think, 10 minutes he was on. I think he also had like 8 assists. And, people keep saying Draymond's not a good player anymore. And yeah, he doesn't light up the scoring sheet like he used to because he used to drop 25 plus with his record when he was younger. But it's not his role. He's not a scorer. That's why we have the 2 best shooters in the NBA right now. We don't need another scorer. And I think that, 8 assists, just that's his role. He does that really well. I am surprised though that they are keeping him all on the bench. I don't know. That was very interesting to me. That was actually the first time that Draymond has ever started a playoff game on the bench was Game 4, when he came off for Jordan Poole. And, I will say this. I'm very disappointed that Jordan Poole has not been playing well this playoff series. He looked really good throughout the whole year. He was great in the NBA Finals last year. He came in clutch so many times in the finals. So hopefully in the second series when we win, because I think we have like a 70% chance of winning tonight.
They're favored by 7.5.
Who they got? They got the Lakers.
The Kings.
We're still playing the Kings.
Yeah, they're
Game
still
6,
playing
Game
the
6.
Kings. Yeah.
They got a
Jesus.
74% chance.
Yeah.
The Lakers have a 64% chance to win tonight.
Don't count out those
They're not
Kings.
going to though. I think the Grizzlies will win. I think the Grizzlies can still win this series.
What do you, Eddie? Because this is all people have been talking about on my feed. What do you think of Dylan Brooks?
Dylan Brooks is not him. He's not.
Oh yeah,
He's not.
But people are like, that's the reason the Lakers are up in this series because Dylan Brooks is just like lit a fire.
No, it's
under
called
them.
Desmond Bane is just better than the entire Lakers team because Desmond Bane literally screwed that team in Game 6 or in Game 5. He literally single-handedly won that game. Him and Ja Morant, I'm pretty sure, combined for like a total of 65 of their points.
Well, the Lakers are up 3-2, and tonight's game is
in LA, I know.
I don't know what games I'm gonna watch because
I'm watching. Well, there's only 2 games tonight.
But there's hockey too. There's 6 Game 6s.
Yeah, but what? Yeah, I'm not watching hockey. Hockey doesn't matter to me as much. I prefer to watch NBA.
I prefer to watch hockey.
I wore the hat today to rep the boys and everything. Like I took off the IU hat. Everybody was very like. I was walking by a couple of my friends were like, "You changed hats?" I was like, "Dude, I'm repping the boys tonight. I'm repping the boys tonight. I got the 2022,
That used
23.
to be the main hat until you bought the IU hat.
I had the IU hat longer than I've had this hat. Hey, this is just the main hat because NBA had started, I think, when I started wearing. I don't know.
You've worn it a couple times. In a couple episodes.
I worn it a couple episodes, but I mainly just kept the IU hat because like sports were going on all year for IU, so it was just like whatever. But so if I'm being honest, I think the Warriors win in 6. I would prefer to play the Grizzlies because even though I think the Grizzlies are all in all a better team, just because of the way they've been playing in the playoffs recently. I would rather play the Grizzlies because I feel like we would have an easier time beating them than the Lakers. Yeah, so my predictions as of now. Suns, I think, can win against the Nuggets in 7. I think they can. I think the Celtics win. I think that the Knicks win. I think the Celtics go on to the finals. I think the Warriors and Grizzlies will win.
I don't know. I think Philly's better than Boston. I think Philly's like significantly better than Boston.
I don't. Joel Embiid is banged up.
Because they easily beat the Nets, and the Nets are way better than the Hawks. I really think Philly's
of a playoff team, I disagree.
I think Philly's winning the East. I said that at the start. I had Philly and Golden State in the final.
If in a 7 games, Philly had the home court advantage, maybe. They don't.
I don't know.
Boston
I
wins.
still think they're going to win this series. I got Philly.
I think Boston. If Boston wins, they go to the finals again. I would love to see a rematch. Personally,
I think
it
it'd be really cool to see a rematch because like the likelihood that you'll see one of those anymore is just so slim.
I hope
it's so
people
much
know
fun.
that if Warriors get to the final, first thing I'm doing,
Buy tickets.
hell no. How much money do you think I have, dog?
I
I don't got enough to even afford
How much is the library paying you?
not enough to go buy a court or a freaking seat ticket at a Warriors game.
At the NBA Finals.
Because it would either be in Boston or I like when the teams that play are like 2 cross country teams and I'm dead in the middle, so I can't go either way.
Either that or they're like in the same city.
Exactly.
Like it'll
Sacramento would
like,
no, because most of the time they don't
like
have the
okay,
same.
not in the NBA,
It'd be
but
like Golden State taking on like the Lakers or something.
But, like-
Obviously,
Well,
that can't happen.
that's what I'm saying,
But,
yeah.
like,
but like the Red Sox play like the Mets in the World Series. It's just like a quick little like
back and
drive.
forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh hell no, the Yankees playing the Mets.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, even just a Subway.
The
Series.
Yankees, just a Subway Series. Yankees playing
Was that
Mets.
ever a World? They played in the World
No, but they
Series.
can. Yeah,
right.
they
No,
did
they
one
did.
time, but
They
like
did.
it hasn't happened since.
It was like 01, I think.
Yeah.
2000 or 2001 or something, I think was the last Subway Series in the World Series. But
And needless to say, but still,
watch The Captains, great documentary.
Oh, who won the baseball lineup vote?
well, my stupid self just looked at the. Well, I'll put it up there and we'll have them vote on it. My stupid self put a timer on the thing to upload the post because I do it when I get back. I have a time for it to post and then I come back later.
Yeah.
I just went and looked and I accidentally set the timer for not the whatever the date was at that point next month on that date, not this month. So
I've definitely
it was
made that mistake.
So it's still
before.
not up.
So it's not. I just saw it today because I went to check and see the
But
votes.
today it doesn't really matter just because we're all
Correct.
picking a draft.
We're all
you
picking a
know?
draft,
So-
but we'll know.
I might post that clip on my channel like as just a summer video.
Yeah,
like
I'm-
a month from now.
I'm
'Cause
gonna
I
post
like that kind of draft. I think it's
I
a
think
lot
it's
of
fun. Yeah. I know we're gonna do the draft recap right now. So this is gonna be crazy because we got 30 minutes.
Are
or
we
so.
starting the new drafts?
Huh?
Are we starting just like random drafts now?
No,
No,
I think it's
draft
the
recap.
NFL.
Draft
The
recap for the
Oh,
NFL, and then
the draft.
yeah, the draft, and then after we're done with the draft recap, then we're gonna go. And so, do you guys have an idea of what you want to do? I'm still thinking personally, but
I've got 2 different ideas for
Okay.
ones that I think could be cool, but I'll
ponder on them for a little bit.
I can ponder on them for a little
And
bit.
and when we're done with this, we'll decide. All right, NFL draft. Quincy didn't watch it because he was watching the Leafs game, which
I mean, I
I'm-
saw who got picked. Like, it's like,
I'm gonna-
I didn't
Oh.
see Roger Goodell say, like, no,
no, actually, it's more like
I would rather watch an actual game than a draft.
I wouldn't. Not when it comes to that. I would love the draft.
I had to watch.
People
the
don't
Leafs.
understand the excitement of the draft. I think that everybody just sees it as Roger
My
Goodell
God,
being
what
an
name,
idiot.
What name is he gonna say? Oh my
But
God.
it's the culture. It's the suspense. It's the watching the videos about the athletes and like how they their film. Pretty much they give you free film to watch that you can't. It's
I
hard
will
to find.
say my favorite part of the draft, my absolute favorite part of the draft, people are cooking on Will
Oh,
Levis.
yes.
And it is hilarious.
It's one of the funniest things ever.
It is so funny.
Did you see the meme that came out? I don't know if I can find it.
I've seen like 100.
It's the one. It was his mom, and I don't know. There was 3 girls with him, and everybody said, "Dang, he's pulling before he even gets the bag." And
One of them was like,
his girlfriend. I think one was his sister, and I think the other was his mom. But yeah, there was 3 girls there.
no, they were his sisters.
There was one
but
that was
the-
100% not his sister.
Yeah, that's his
That's
girlfriend.
had to be his
that's
mom.
No, that's his girlfriend. Because
Dude.
she was sitting on his lap.
No, the one on his immediate left that wasn't that she looked like she was in her 50s.
What? What are you? Okay,
That
hold on.
had to be his mom.
Bro, this girl?
No.
That's his girlfriend.
That's sitting on his lap.
That's what I just said.
I said the girl sitting next to his immediate left. It was an older woman
this
sitting.
is his left.
She's sitting on his lap. This woman was sitting on the couch next to him. There were 3 there.
There's a bald dude on the couch.
That's
all right.
not,
We're missing
way.
the point. But all
the point is
all
that
the
there was
memes
a
are like,
cooking.
Will Levis's girl looks like he's gonna leave him.
Yeah.
Like the Colts after they beat the Will Levis allegations.
No, I think that overall, if I'm gonna be honest,
they're so fun. They're just so funny because everyone knows Will Levis is just bad.
As much as it hurts me to say this, the Eagles had the best draft.
You're a Colts fan, right?
Yeah. I joked about it a lot on previous episodes, but I genuinely could not get the thought of like, holy shit, like what if we take Max Duggan or somebody like that in the first round? Like, it's something that Jim Irsay would do, and like
100%.
I was terrified that it was actually going to be a reality, and like I just needed to hear them say someone else. I'm like, just literally anyone else. Other
Were you
than, like,
happy
fucking
with
Max
with
Duggan
Anthony Richardson?
Oh yeah, definitely happy with Anthony.
Oh
Richardson.
yeah, he's a good quarterback.
He's really really good. You know?
All right, so we're just going to go through the first round, talk about it. If I had to be honest, I think the Eagles, the Texans, or the Seahawks had the best draft. There wasn't really – all the other teams were pretty interesting. Number 1 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft ended up being Bryce Young to the Carolina Panthers. Oh, no. What now? Oh, yeah, I saw that.
When they beat the Will.
Yeah, it's the Bloomington Buddies.
It's the clip of Patrick Beverly like throwing his jersey to the crowd. It's Panthers, Texans, and Colts fans after beating the Will Levis allegations.
But yeah, the number 1 overall pick ended up being Bryce Young to the Carolina Panthers. By the way, you'll see me when I talk about they gave them a grade. I'm using CBS. I don't really care for ESPN when it comes to stuff like this. Their grades are always like they give almost everyone a 90 or above. It's like it's not even realistic. So either way, Bryce Young ended up getting going number 1 overall to the Panthers. CBS gave them a B- grade, and honestly, I'm going to say this is a C. And I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, and I don't care. You're picking a quarterback who played 2 total seasons as a starter, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young?
Bryce Young,
that
he played.
C?
I'm giving that a C. He's injury prone. He was injured twice in the last 2 seasons. He is literally being compared to Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield, and we've seen how well those 2 players have played in the NFL. He is 5'4". He's 5'10" at 200 pounds, which, by the way, I'm 6'1", 190. So evens out to be about the same.
Did you say he's 5'4"?
He's 5'10". I said 5'4". I don't know why I said 4 at first, but
what?
He's 5'10", 204. He's small.
So are you just saying they should have taken Stroud instead?
No, I don't think they should have taken Stroud. I've already said who I think.
Oh yeah, you
pick.
think Anthony Richardson?
Anthony Richardson is faster than Bryce Young. He's got a better arm than Bryce Young.
No,
he's bigger.
That's just wrong,
dude. I sent you the clip of Anthony
just
Richardson
wrong.
throwing a 70-yard dot, and you said, "Wow, it was actually a good throw."
He made a good throw in practice.
On the run.
Oh my god,
a 70-yard throw on the
so
run.
Did Zach Wilson.
No, he didn't. He did not make a 70-yard throw on the run that was right in the basket. He didn't.
There was like a clip
No,
of, yes.
he threw like a 65-yard bomb standing still.
Okay, what did he do in games?
Who? Anthony Richardson? Oh, he just played 12 college games and was good enough to go at number 4
run.
overall.
Yeah, only 12 college games.
And everybody else played 2 years, and he went number 4 overall.
I don't know. I don't think Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson's going to be the best
I don't think he'll be
one.
bad, but I don't think Bryce Young's a bad pick.
No, Bryce Young's going to do he's actually going to do less than what Cam Newton did for him. He's going to take him to the playoffs. They're going to lose in the first round or second round every year, and then everybody's going to go, "Oh, but I thought he was supposed to be so good." No. He's not going to win.
He has nobody to work with at the moment.
He's going to be, he may be an Aaron Rodgers quarterback where he wins 1 Super Bowl within the first 2 or 3 years, and then he never wins another NFC championship.
You think
game.
he's winning a Super Bowl?
No, but he's going to be one of the 2. He's going to either be the Aaron Rodgers type quarterback that wins 1 Super Bowl, looks good, and then just can't win an NFC championship game after, or he's going to be like a Baker Mayfield or somebody else where he gets them barely and they can't win.
What do you think of the Texans back-to-back?
Texans back-to-back, that was probably one of the smartest trade-ups I've ever seen. You get a major offensive need and you get the best defensive prospect in the draft. I mean, you do.
Yeah.
Number 2, you get C.J. Stroud, who I think is a better quarterback than Bryce Young. I think that he's going to be a better NFL quarterback. He's standing at 6'3", 214.
Well, just because he's taller?
No, he's more of the QB build that they're going to use. He's just as quick as Bryce Young. He is indeed taller.
He's not just as quick as Bryce Young.
When he's scrambling outside the pocket,
He's
maybe not on design
Bryce
QB
Young
runs.
is like one of the most elusive quarterbacks I've seen in a while. Like, okay, you could make the argument that he's like taller, maybe a better thrower. He's not
And
as
he's going to fit the
He's
system.
not as elusive and mobile as Bryce
And
Young, but he's still good.
He's not. The thing is CJ Stroud's going to fit the Texan system. Bryce Young is not going to fit the
I will
Carolina
say,
system.
I don't know how much this like matters when it comes to quarterbacks, but there's like a quarterback like intelligence test or whatever, and CJ Stroud recorded like one of the lowest scores ever. It's called the S2 cognition test. Maybe I wouldn't score well on it either. I don't know.
Yeah, obviously, you can't even say the word cognition.
But all the scores: Bryce Young got a 98, Jake Haener 96, Will Levis 93, Jaron Hall 93, Clayton Tune 84, Anthony Richardson 79, Hendon Hooker 46, CJ Stroud 18.
Okay, well, first off, you're also comparing to. By the way, let's put it this: after the first pick, they were like, "Oh yeah, this man's just like Steph Curry in the NFL." Blah blah blah. Right? And
Bryce
they're showing one clip where Steph nails a three and is already turning around, walking back. Right? By the way, you're talking about the greatest shooter of all time. He has the right to do that. Okay? And then you're looking at one example of Bryce Young throwing it to somebody wide open in the end zone, turning around and running off, and them saying, "Yeah, he's like a point guard on the field." Bro was
Just
wide
let him hype
open.
him up.
No,
Just let him
bro
hype
was
him up.
wide open, and you're sitting here. But it's just like also he
No one's
played.
allowed to touch his
he
precious
played.
Steph.
Yeah, exactly. He played on the best offense in the country. He literally doesn't have to do near what people just think it's like that, and it's like Bryce Young. I honestly I just don't think he deserved to go number one. CJ Stroud, they gave him a B grade. I'm giving that an A minus. I think CJ Stroud is going to be a great Texans quarterback.
Who else?
Will Anderson at number 3, they gave that
That's
a
an
B
A.
minus grade. That's easily an A plus in my opinion. Getting the best, in my opinion, the best offensive prospect and defensive prospect back to back is crazy.
I was gonna say, the fact that they were able to get the second and third picks
Yeah,
is just
and they really didn't
fucking
trade too much
insane.
for it. They traded, I think they ended up trading a total of like 2 seconds and a third to get 2 back to back. So it's like. Number 4 overall, the Colts take Anthony Richardson, QB out of Florida. They gave that a B. I'm giving that an A minus because he's going to be the best long-term prospect. He's big, he's quick, he's got an arm, he's elusive. He's like a mixture of, like they said, Cam Newton with his physicality.
I just think he's not as mobile as Bryce Young, and he's not as good of a thrower as like Stroud. He's just kind of like, I don't know. I think he'll be okay.
He's a bigger Lamar in my
He'll-
opinion. The way he's able to knock
not a-
defenders
he's
out,
not.
he is.
No.
He's got
I think
Cam
he'll be
Newton's
like
physicality.
decent, but he's not gonna tear the league up like you think he's gonna do.
He's going to do better than probably both CJ and
I think he'll do better than
Bryce.
CJ because that's just a death sentence going to the Texans.
they're going to be playing against each other in the division.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, facts.
yeah.
So that'll
Probably
be
like
a
the
great
first game of the season.
I
they'll
didn't
be
really-
playing
I
each
didn't really
other.
get
Wait, the schedule is out. Hang on, let me look it up.
Yeah, actually, let's look at the schedule.
I didn't
because
really
they might
get-
be playing each other the first game of the season.
So the 5th pick was that dude out of Illinois, right?
Yeah, it was
The
freaking
guy that-
Devin Witherspoon, which,
the
by
guy
the way,
that-
not even the best corner in the draft. So that was stupid as hell.
I didn't understand that. Like, oh, he sent Sean Shivers into the quantum realm on one play. Like
Yeah, no,
the
that was
clip
funny.
where he just
blows him up.
It was just the Brian Dawkins Reggie Bush.
Oh,
hit.
great. We have no internet, so maybe I won't be looking it up.
here, let me look it up.
Hang on. I don't know why.
I don't know. Devin Witherspoon. That's like a D.
Devin Witherspoon, I don't think it's a D. I think he's a good player, but I just don't.
He's not the.
one.
I think it's a C. I think it's a C minus.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, no, that's 2023.
I think it's a C minus. Number 6, the Cardinals ended up trading with the Seahawks. They traded down one more because they knew they could get their guy, and they ended up getting Paris Johnson, the
I wanted
offensive
Paris
tackle.
Johnson. I wanted the Bears to get
At
him, but
Ohio
I didn't.
State.
I wanted the Bears to get him, but I didn't think he was gonna fall.
No, he's not going to fall. He's the best O-line in the draft. At number 7, the Raiders get What's up?
The Colts don't play the Texans until week 3, and it is in Indianapolis.
You gonna go?
I kind of want to.
It'd be a good game.
Yo, Bloomington Buddies field trip. Is all
I
I'm
remember
saying.
there was
Bloomington Buddies
there was
field
a
trip.
point in
Pod
time
immediately after the game.
Hold on.
With a recap.
There was a point in time where we were coming back, and me and my friend
Was
were
this when I wasn't there? No, I'm sorry. Continue.
no. We were going to go to the Colts Texans game, the Week 17 game. And we were going to go there and root for the Texans so the Bears could get the number 1 pick. Because we were driving back to Bloomington like that day from, I forget what, I think it was back for like winter break. And we're like, should we just like, we found like $5 tickets and we were like this close to going and rooting for the Texans.
That's the thing,
We
because
didn't actually
both
do
teams are just so bad.
No,
Yeah.
but the play, I still love that the Bears got the number 1 pick and traded it. But like from the Texans just driving down and scoring.
I do think that the Bears are. I mean, they definitely. We'll talk about it in a second. They got a good pick, but I think they wanted Paris, and they should have only traded down a little. Tyree Wilson at number 7 goes to the Raiders, the edge of Texas Tech. They gave him an 8 grade. I'm giving him an A as well.
This next pick was stupid as hell.
This isn't the only pick that's stupid as hell. Wait until you get to the bottom. It's fantastic.
Bonder was.
He was.
Shambles,
I bet he was in liver. Oh,
he
dude,
was so upset.
I couldn't believe. Bijan Robinson goes number 8, the running back out of Texas, to the freaking Falcons. The Falcons don't need a running back. You just got Tyler, whatever his last. I call him Alligator because it looks like alligator, so I call him Tyler Alligator. But, bro, literally, it was one of the best running backs in the draft last year.
ESPN would disagree. They gave it a 96 overall grade.
Okay, but they also gave like a 96 for everything. That's why I hate them. Bijan Robinson got a D on CBS, and it's an F.
He goes, Falcons have one of the worst. Falcons have one of the worst offensive lines in the league.
Yeah,
Let's
they do.
draft a running back.
Literally, CBS is why I like CBS better. They gave him a D. I'm giving him an F. It's the worst
That's
pick.
an F.
That is the worst pick of the draft. Oh, wait. It gets better, though. There's another one that's pretty bad. Number 9 overall. I cannot believe he fell this far, but the Eagles take Jalen Carter. This is an A+ for me as well.
Bears fans were so upset that they traded and could have gotten Jalen Carter and didn't. I'm not a big okay, he's a good player. But I'm just not a big fan of like his off the field stuff. And he was, I don't know, he seemed like very arrogant and not like a very good team player.
Oh,
just from the attitude I've seen around him. And they got like a 4th, I think, from swapping with the Eagles. And the next pick was the Bears at 10. They took Darnell, right? Offensive tackle out of Tennessee.
He's a really good pick.
This is a great pick.
I'm giving him an A-.
This is a great pick. I give it an A. And people were like, oh, well, he's not as good as other people.
I mean, I can understand. I really thought you guys should have taken Peter.
He's 6'8", 350, dude. Like, come on.
What? 6'8", 6'5". What do you want?
Something like that. He's huge.
Yeah, he's big, but I honestly would have rather seen Peter.
6'5", 333.
Yeah, I would have taken Peter, though, honestly.
The problem, people were saying Skaronski had, like, short arms or something.
Skaronski is faster, though, and that's when you have edge rushers like you're about to play against the Packers.
I want a big motherfucker on my O-line.
Okay, you keep telling yourself that when freaking Aiden Hutchinson is coming at your ass and you have a slow-ass tackle. You keep telling me that.
Can we talk about the lot? Jahmyr Gibbs?
Oh, wait, we'll get there. Peter Skoronski goes number 11 to the Titans, and then, yes, Jahmyr Gibbs, this is the second worst pick in the draft.
First of all, Jahmyr Gibbs is not that great of a running back. He's just fast.
Sorry.
Which is what they want.
Wait, real quick. Sorry.
Number 11, yeah, you heard us.
Just to change the subject real quick, so we can come back to this. Sorry.
Okay,
I just saw this for the Colts' schedule. This is so fucking weird. Literally, the first half of the season, we're at home. Second half of the season, we're on the road.
That's crazy.
It's never a back and forth.
It's usually a back and forth.
Do the Colts play the Bears this year?
It looks like they do, I think.
What week?
If
it's in Indy, I'll go because Soldier Field ticket prices are fucked.
Oh, Soldier Field, everything is fucked.
Soldier Field's a dump.
It looks like they don't play the Bears, actually.
Oh.
Did we play the Giants? I don't know, actually. We haven't played them in a while, I don't think, the Colts.
I don't think
I've actually been to an NFL game. I've only ever been to one NFL game.
It's the weirdest.
And
it was Mitch Trubisky's first preseason game.
I went to a preseason game. That's the only one I've been to. It was a Giant. And you know what really pissed me off? I got down on the thing because it was against Indy. It was the Giants Indy. And this is when Luck was the quarterback. And this is when OBJ was a rookie. And this is when Eli was still around, right? I got it signed by Landon Collins, my card. I watched Odell walk by. I didn't really know him because I was like in 5th grade, so I was young. And I just saw him, and I didn't know him, so I just didn't ask him to sign my card, and now I regret it.
My friend got a picture with like Trace Jackson Davis when he was like a freshman that didn't get any playing time. He's like, "Oh, who's this random guy?" I'll just get a picture with him.
I got a picture with him at the football game.
Also,
first football game.
I got one with Malik Renew.
Yeah, I got one with
Thompson.
I think I got one with Malik, Trace, and did X-Man get a picture? I think he did. I think X-Man got a picture. By the way, big news, X-Man is back.
Oh yeah, they officially they
approved it.
They approved his medical red shirt.
And he's back, so at least we'll have a decent point guard.
I think there's like a possibility we could be better this upcoming year than last.
Well, yeah, because now we won't be solely relying on one player.
Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like I'm like one of the only people that thinks that.
Yeah, I mean, it'll depend.
But if everyone reaches their full potential, they could. We just need a small forward. That's all we need. We need somebody. Somebody has to transfer here. That's a small forward.
I don't know.
Somebody has to. Because currently, it's X at the 1, Gallo at the 2, whoever the fuck at the 3, and then Renew at 4 and Kello at 5. I guess you could put like Banks at the 3. But I mean, Nah, I don't know. Like anybody who's like a decent if a decent small forward transfers here will be fine. It was supposed to be Chris Ledlam, but that bastard went to Tennessee.
Well, yeah. Well, why are you mad? I thought you were a Tennessee fan. Anyway.
Well, for basketball, I'm an IU fan first and foremost.
All right. So anyway,
I was
gonna say something else though. Oh, we also had a TCU lineman transfer here, which is a big deal. He played in the championship game.
Yeah.
We do need an O-line
Got
for football.
65 dropped out.
So we definitely need some O-line to help us this year. So that'll be a good plus.
Back to the draft though. The Packers had a good pick here with Luke Van Ness.
I didn't like it as much. I think it's a good pick.
He's a dog.
I know he's a dog, but it's literally, and it made me laugh. Jimmy did, like this made me laugh. And
did Jimmy say it was a bad pick?
No, wait until you hear exactly what he said because you're gonna laugh. We were just talking the entire game, just laughing with each other. Hang on. Crap. I gotta get it up. It's taking forever to load. I want because you have to listen to it exactly as he said. It made me laugh so hard.
I'm just glad they didn't get Jackson Smith-Njigba.
What do you dude? That would have been a better pick for him.
I'm glad the Packers didn't get him.
Okay, listen. Now, by the way, this is such a Jimmy quote. Wait, where was it? Crap. No, did it go away? No way.
I don't know, but
here it is. I said, what are these picks? Because this was right after they drafted Lucas Van Noyes, and so funny. Jimmy goes, the Bears got it down, and their division is picking white guys from Iowa like it's the 1975s or something. And I couldn't help but laughing because it's true. They were picking the worst picks I've ever seen. Like, if at anything, the Bears just had their chance go up just because these teams are dog shit at drafting. You get Lucas Van Ness, which, yeah, he's a good edge rusher. But in my opinion, I would have taken Will McDonald over him. I would have taken...
another guy from Iowa? Iowa State, sorry.
He's from Iowa State. But either way, that's besides the point. I also, if I'm being completely honest, would have taken Mozzie Smith over him, and I would have taken Miles Murphy over him. Both, and even... Brian, by the way, one of the most underrated picks in the draft is Brian Brees.
Oh, yeah, he's good.
All of those people I would have taken over Lucas, and no.
I like how the Eagles are just assembling a Georgia defense because they took Nolan Smith. I really wanted the Bears to get Nolan Smith in the second round, but
yeah.
So I thought the Eagles had a great draft. They just got the two best players on the best defense in college.
Yeah, of course. All right, so we're just gonna go through some of these because some of them don't mean much. Broderick Jones goes OT, goes to the Steelers at number 14. Then Will McDonald. Goes number 15 overall to the Jets. I didn't hate this pick. I'm shocked they didn't attack an O-line position or even try to get him a better receiver.
One thing that doesn't make sense is, one thing that doesn't make sense. You have Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. Let's draft a receiver.
What are you talking about?
The Vikings
they
took
don't have Adam Thielen.
Oh, yeah, they don't have that.
He was traded to the Panthers.
Still, though, let's pick a receiver.
That's a good pick.
No, they have so many other needs on their team they got to fill. That's not a good pick.
I mean, I'm pissed because if he would have not been picked there, I know exactly who would have picked him, and it would have been my freaking team.
Oh, yeah, the Giants.
But anyway, we'll get to that
I don't know who Deontay Banks is.
He's a good pick. If anything, that was the best pick. I would have preferred we trade down, though, because we would have still gotten him. But either way, Emmanuel Forbes, the cornerback in Mississippi State, goes 16 to the Commanders. Christian Gonzalez, who by the way, the Packers traded with the Packers traded with, who did they trade with? I can't remember.
They traded with the Steelers.
Did they? Yeah, they did. Traded with the Steelers, and they still got Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback at Oregon, who, in my opinion, is the best corner in the draft. And the funny thing is, he's not even the most athletic in his family. His sister is like an Olympic sprinter, and his other sister, I think, is like some type of crazy like gymnast. I think she may be an Olympic gymnast. It's crazy. He's nowhere near the most and his younger sister apparently is like even more athletic than he's gonna be. It's bizarre.
The Bills took a tight end out of Utah.
Yeah, that was bizarre. But
what are you doing?
Jack Campbell, linebacker at Iowa. This is where I think the linebackers from Iowa should have started going. Jack Campbell, the Lions, but still, either way, the fact that they're getting Jack Campbell when you literally still have. There was another linebacker on the board. Oh, they could have gone. I would have gone Nolan Smith because even though he's an edge rusher, he can play linebacker. He's like Von Miller.
I adore Nolan Smith. I'm upset that.
And we'll talk about that in a minute. After that, I don't know why you picked Kalea Kancey to go D-line out of Pitt at number 19. There's so many other D-linemen I would have taken over him. And then Jackson Smith and Njagba ends up going to the Seahawks at number 20 overall. This is such an underrated pick. They gave it a B. I'm giving it an A- because now you have a freaking bizarre wide receiving core for Geno to throw through.
Oh, yeah.
You've got DK Metcalf, you've got Tyler Lockett, and now you've got Jackson. That's going to be one of the craziest cores. And you still got Kenneth Walker in the backfield. You've still got Tyreek Woolen, who is, in my opinion, the second best rookie corner in this past.
The defense just has to be like a little bit better.
They need to get a better linebacker, and they need to get a little help in the safety.
I mean, you can get tons of talent. I'm looking at some of these players that are like available in the second round, and I'm like, these guys can ball.
Because remember, they did just get another corner, so they've got corners good, right? But either way, number 21, this pissed me off. They took Quentin Johnson, receiver out of TCU, the Chargers. They gave it a C grade. I think Quentin Johnson's one of the best receivers in the draft. He's not super fast, but Quentin Johnson is 6'3", 208. He's a tall receiver for you to throw to. I really wanted him to go to the Giants. The Giants actually had like a private dinner with him, and like I had a feeling they would draft him if he was there. They give it a C grade. I think I'm going to give it a B, or at least because the Chargers still have a decent receiving core, but I think that him and Justin Herbert, that's going to be a deadly combo. Number 22, this is one of the best picks in the draft. Zay Flowers goes to the Ravens. This is another. He's a lot like Marquise Hollywood Brown. He's small. He's quick. He has really good hands. He can catch almost anything. Lamar, I know, tweeted out immediately, like, I'm so pumped to work with this guy. He's one of the best receivers. But another thing that's ironic, Zay Flowers, literally a week before the draft, was seen throwing passes with Patrick Mahomes. So a feeling that he was actually going to go to the Chiefs, which they need a receiver, which I'm shocked they didn't. I mean, there wasn't really a receiver on the board at that time. But either way, next pick. The Vikings take Jordan Addison, receiver out of USC. They gave this an A. I don't think it's an A, but I don't think it's a bad pick. I know everybody's pissed about it. He just has no... Because he's
a good player, but like...
Think about it. The Vikings are probably going to get Will Levis or Hendon Hooker in the second round.
You think?
Probably. They're going to get a corner. They're going to get a quarterback at some point. Or they're going to trade for one. Because as much as I love Captain Kirk, he just can't get it done in the playoffs. He did good during the regular season this year. I think he had a great season. But he just can't get it done in the playoffs. And you can't have that.
No, but... This talent list, though, for the second round, like for people that are still available,
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
And we'll talk about it when
Michael
we get through
Mayer,
this. But
like if the
Ringo is still there.
If the why the Bills take a tight end out of Utah when Michael Mayer is still on the board? If the Bears take Darnell Washington, I'm literally gonna flip.
Now I'm not mad about that.
I would love Darnell Washington.
You'll hear my reason for this in a second, and I'm not mad about the Bills thing. I am mad that they took a tight end, but I'm not mad that if they did, why they took this one. Number 24, my team, the Giants, take Deonte Banks, the cornerback out of Maryland. I don't hate this pick. I know a lot of people were like, why would you take him? He's a good corner. He's 6 foot. He's going to work well with Dante Jackson. He's going to work well with some of our players. I think that, he's going to still be that young talent that we need to keep up. It's a B+. I'm going to keep it there. I think a B+ is a pretty accurate rating for that. Now, at number 25, the Bills did indeed take Dalton Kincaid. Now, I don't think they need a tight end. They still got Dawson Knox. They still got a good tight end core. But I think that the reason that you leave Mike Mayer on here is because Mike Mayer is tall, but he's not quick. He ran a 4.7. He's not a deep threat. They've already got Dawson Knox, who is a deep threat.
So then why would you take a tight end at all?
Because they want somebody that's more of a possession player, which is more of a, hey, you can run this fucking 5-10 yard out route, and we can throw it, and we know you're going to catch it. That's really his role. And also, you know that they like to run a 2 tight end set.
The Bills got too many gaps in the defense to be taking.
The Bills like to run a 2 tight end set. And no, they don't. What are you talking about? Their corners are good. They've still got Diggs. They've still got Jordan Poyer.
They got torn up by the Bengals in that wild card game.
Well, yeah, because half their players were out. Von Miller was out.
Still, obviously, I would have liked to see him go defense here. I don't think.
I just think there wasn't.
I'm gonna ask our resident Bills fan, Alex Bond, what he thinks about that.
Yeah, do that. And then Mozzie Smith goes number 26 overall to the Cowboys. Makes sense. Got to send the bad players to the bad teams. I'm just joking. I immediately got a look from Jackson.
Wait, what? Who went to a bad team?
Mozzie Smith went to the Cowboys. By the way, Jerry Jones, you look as stupid as ever on camera. Hate that man. I just, oh man, it's not even a Cowboys thing. It's just I hate Jerry Jones. He's one of the everybody hates him. Number 27 overall, the Bills ended up trading with the Jaguars, so Jaguars went down to 27. They end up getting Alton Harrison O-line out of Oklahoma, which is a decent pick. They gave that a B+. I'm going to keep it. Actually, I'm going to move that up to an A-. I think they need that to help protect Trevor Lawrence.
Von City liked the pick. So.
It wasn't a horrible pick, but it wasn't their biggest need. And then number
He's like,
20,
I'm glad we stole him from the Cowboys.
Yeah, because they needed, but they didn't take Mike Mayer, which is interesting, which I don't know why. Miles Murphy goes number 28 to the Bengals, which is a great pickup because now you're going to have him on that line to help get more pass rush against some great players in the league. So a steal for the Bengals. They give that a B. I'm giving that an A. Easy. Number 29 overall to the Saints, Brian Brees, D-line out of Clemson. Again, another Clemson taken right back to back. This is a great pick as well. He's physical, he's big, he's quick, 6'6", 298. He's a great player. They gave it a B+. I'm going to give it an A- because I think the Saints have got Derek Carr. They've got some decent targets. They've got Alvin Kamara still. They've got an okay O-line. I would have rather have seen them maybe go O-line, but with the talent on the board, this is a great pick. Number 30 overall, as we talked about earlier, the Eagles go Nolan Smith, the edge rusher out of Georgia. They gave that a B. I'm giving that an A.
That's an A+.
I don't know it's an A+ because I think that I would have rather have seen them because they took 2 D linemen. I think you want to patch up the gaps you have. You lost both your safeties. You lost a linebacker. So I would have rather have them attacked DT as well. They attacked 2 edge, which I thought was very interesting. Because Jalen Carter is probably going to play on the outside. So you're going to have 2 edge rushers that I think you need to focus because you still have Fletcher Cox, which is good. I'm glad they franchise tagged him, but you still lost quite a few people. You lost Hargrave. You lost Gardner Johnson. You lost Epps. You lost a lot of key players to your defense. So that was interesting. And the final pick, as we already said earlier, the Dolphins got their pick taken away because of some stupid stuff they decided to do.
Nah, bozos.
I like how it was trying to recruit somebody that's retired. That's kind of ironic. So it is Felix, and I can't even pronounce this dude's last name. Uzama. That's right. Yeah, Uzama. The edge rusher out of K-State. He was really, really good this year. He was, even though didn't show as much, he did do decent in the conference championship game against TCU when Kansas State played them. He was a really good asset to that team. They gave it a C+. I'm actually going to give it a B here. I think it was great. But yeah, the next round is tonight. This is where I'm going to actually the draft up because I only watched the first 2 rounds. After that, I don't watch it anymore because it's just like after that they kind of try to do it as quickly as possible. So anyway, why is the internet still down? I may have to try and see if it's working on my phone or restart my computer really quick. Anyway, so yeah, that's the draft recap. I'll do a draft recap probably sometime this week on the 2nd and 3rd round. I'll talk through that. It'll kind of just depend on when I can get it done this weekend.